Does your parents complain about their work every day when they come home saying, oh, my boss sucks, my coworkers are no fun to work with, my back hurts, my leg hurts, oh, I hate my job? Well, in this video, I'm going to talk to you about how that affected me when I was a kid, what I learned from it, and how I can make the situation better. Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Andrew. You call me Uncle Druzy. I grew up in an abusive family. My parents fought almost every day. I was a loner, didn't have very many friends. If you could relate to me, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be coming out with new stories every week on my childhood, my teenage years, and how I survived it, and what I learned from it, so you could benefit from it. So growing up, my dad had a pretty stable job. In the 25 years that we were here, he only had 3 jobs and they were all managing at a warehouse. My mom, however, she jumped from job to job to job. She started working at a sweatshop, then she became like a cashier at a supermarket. Then she went on to do different restaurants, you know, a cashier, a waitress, went to banking. She worked at a florist. She worked at a different florist. Other jobs maybe that I don't know of. My dad, he didn't really complain about his job at all. Unless he got into an argument or a fight with my mom, then he just, you know, goes all out. I didn't really talk to my dad at all, period. So I didn't really know what he's going through, what he's doing or whatnot. My mom, she would often complain about how much her legs were aching from standing, how much her fingers were hurting. She would complain about the money constantly. Like whatever she'd buy, she'd be like, oh, I had to work X amount of hours to get this. Birthdays, Christmases, Chinese New Year, she would give me money and she'll just tell me, you know how hard I have to work to get you this money, to give this to you. You know, you gotta be very careful how you spend it. And my parents would often fight about money all the time, like bills. And my dad would just argue about, oh, I pay for all the mortgage. All you have to do is pay for utilities or whatnot. My mom would always argue about just money, and she would just change jobs because money was the issue. Like she wasn't making enough, or she felt like she deserved more. Whatever job she switched to, it was like another part-time, totally different skilled, totally different industry. Even though she loved flowers and she was a florist, she's complained about, you know, how many hours she had to put into it, and you know how much she has to stand. And I was soaking all this in when I was a kid, like throughout my teenage years. I have no idea what that would do to me or how that would affect me till I'm in the real world after college. I have to start a career of my own and look for jobs for myself. So what happened in the first 5 years of my life after I graduated and started my own career, my own journey? The first 5 years of my life, I had 5 different jobs. Out of the 5 jobs, I only really enjoyed one of them. It was like a banking job. I love the coworkers there, really fun. But guess what? I had an offering of a much higher pay position, 30% increase, and I took that one. And guess what? I don't work there anymore as well. I felt hard work was more suffering than beneficial. That there was like no end game to working hard. It was just like a downward spiral of wearing out your body. And the second effect it had on me was that money was above how much you enjoy the job. Money was above the boss that you have, management that you have, your coworkers, how you enjoy the work. Money was above the journey, and that it was okay to quit and find something else if you felt like you were underpaid or you need to make more money. Another effect that it had on me was the best way to make more money is to jump from job to job to job as long as your salary increases with it. It didn't really matter what you're doing. So now that I'm a full-grown adult, what did I learn from this and how I could pass these things down to my own children is that it's not okay to do something you hate or make you miserable just because the money is there. If the work that you do, you don't feel that you're using your full abilities, your full potential, your strong points, and you're making a difference, whether it's your life, your family's life, or other people's life, it's never gonna work in the long run. Second thing I learned is I will never complain about my job, about my work in front of my kids ever because of what that had affected on me. It just shows weakness. It shows that you're a complainer, you make excuses, and you cannot control your own destiny. If I could go back in time and my mom was complaining about work, about how tired she is, how she's getting underpaid, blah blah blah, I would go and tell her, hey mom, I know you're working hard. I know you feel you're worth more than you're getting paid. And I know that you're doing everything you can to support us, to put food on the table. Don't chase after the money. You gotta figure out what you're good at and find something that complements your skills, that complements your talents. I'd rather you to be happy and us to be poor than you to be unhappy, miserable at work, and for us to have some money. Now, if you like my story, please give me a thumbs up. I'll be coming out with more stories every week of my childhood and what I had to deal with. Hopefully you could relate and we could go on this journey together. See you next time.